Enough of all that. Hey. I'd like to take the time to welcome you to another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. I am your host, the illustrious Diedrich Hubbard. And today we're going to teach on what God are you listening to? What God are you listening to? And we're going to be in the book of Ruth. Yeah, we in Ruth today. And because I know many of you, because of religion, because of not having a connection with God, oftentimes the original or the I ain't gonna say original, you don't understand the depth of revelation when it comes to the Bible. So most of you hear Ruth in a way that perceives what you may be going through and what you think it is. But oftentimes, when you dig for the meat of the word, you will see something that oftentimes you don't see. And y'all know I have taught many different revelations, but for the fact of this one, God wants us to really understand what God are you listening to. And we're going to be in Ruth chapter 1 because it's very crucial in this season of our lives. As we can see by the news report in our own life itself, we got to be careful what we say is or is not God. And we got to be careful and show that what we are, what or who we're listening to are actually of God. So it says, Ruth chapter 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his two sons. And the name of this man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi. And the name of his two sons, Mahar and Chilon, Ephrates of Bethlehem, Judah, and they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her two sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orah, and the name of the other Ruth, and they dwelled there about 10 years. What we got to understand that if you hear my heart, I'm saying, irregardless of the way I may say it, you got to look at everything that I say is trying to point you to God. And even my enemies, even the ones that come to me in darkness, the ones that come to see if I'm talking about them or saying something about them, when you hear what I say and don't understand what's being said, you become held accountable for the actions you don't take to make things right. So when we talk about what God are you listening to, we got to understand that what was the problem in this day. And when it talks about in verse 1, there was a famine in the land. We got to understand what I'm trying to do. Don't just read the Bible. When something sparks your interest, find out what happened. And a lot of times when you take the extra effort to find out what happened, sometimes God gives you the revelation in the search of what's happening, not actually the scripture. All right. So we got to understand this was the closing of a 400-year period of an anarchy and an oppression. And the Israelites were not ruled by kings, but by people they will raise up every now and then when you begin to seek God. So watch this. Which God you're listening to now. Do you ever notice how everything could be going wrong? And then when you finally get your heart into it, your mind into it, soul into it, okay, God, I want you. Okay, God, I want you. Okay, God, I need. Do you notice how things begin to happen for you? You ever notice that now? But people like me who have that constant need to hear the voice of God, we go through trials, but not the trials that many of you often go through. There's a famine in the land. All right. And we got to understand that Bethlehem was a rich agricultural era. The city name means house. So that means in a land of plenty, Elimelech found himself starving. Elimelech found himself not able to provide for his family. If we make it plain, Elimelech was in a spirit of poverty. But watch this. The reason Elimelech was in the spirit of poverty because he wasn't following God's voice. So thereby, you got to watch who you're around and who you often allow to lead you to God, because sometimes their motives are not pure. Sometimes they're not hearing the voice of God. See, watch this. When you really study the Bible, was supposed to go into Moab because he forbid us to go into pagan land. Now, if he forbid us to not go into a pagan land, why would he do that? Because he knew we would pick up pagan practices. Now watch this. So if you get mad that Brother Hubbard talks about, but you don't get mad when I mention the feast of weeks. When you get mad when I talk about Easter, but you don't about the feast of unleavened bread, you a pagan. Because see, God gave us 7 feasts that he said we follow till his return. And now one of them is Easter. Ain't now one of them Christmas. Ain't now one of them Halloween. Ain't now one of them Valentine's Day. Ain't now one of 4th of July. See, watch this. I ain't saying you're going to heaven or hell, but watch what you do. But what I tell y'all, if that's what you like, that's what you like. It's not up for me to change what you like. But just be understanding that the feast that he told us, matter of fact, he commanded us to celebrate it to his return. We don't do those at all. Half of us don't even know what they are. You know why? Because paganism took over us. Why y'all think I wrote that book, The 9-Month Cycle of Demonetization? Because every pagan holiday holds a cycle of generational curses, generational the traditions, and generational whatever the word I use is in the book. Because you birthed it story. So here, Elimelech say he gonna go. Elimelech say he gonna go sojourn. Understand one? Elimelech say he gonna sojourn. That means leave with the intentions to return. So what happens? You got to watch it when you in a time of need and you go outside of God's will to meet your need. Can we make it plain? You had a wife or husband that met every need that God thought you need, but because you didn't get the need you want to need, you went outside. You went outside of your protection. So watch this. That's why if you say you hear the voice of God, that's why when you say you hear the voice of God, you follow the voice of God. That's why I tell you, even if I teach you, what do I tell you now? I said, follow your spirit. Because I'm going to tell you what God said. But sometimes when God trying to get some out of you and get a relationship with you, he will speak opposite of what I may have told you because he's trying to see something. It wasn't until we going into this divorce that the ex-wife, she gonna tell me, well, God told me don't marry you unless we have marriage or counseling, but I married you anyway because I was following my husband. Watch this now. What did you say God tell you? He said you don't marry him. So watch this. The things that we went through, guess what? It's because you didn't follow God. But watch God. Ooh, y'all know this be so good. In my first marriage, I didn't hear the voice of God. But when I sat there, watch this, in front of that priest, and he was counseling me and my first wife, he asked me questions. I told him what he wanted to hear. I didn't know God, but even in my unsaved state, if you ask me a question, because I got the gift of gab, when you ask me a question, I can tell you what you want to hear. Do you know what I was saying? I was sitting there, and I'm sitting there. Nigga don't hear them, just telling him what he want to hear. That's what's before I was saved. Now that I was saved, if God told, I would have did, because you said God said I need to do this to marry you. You didn't do it. So guess where we at? Because you didn't do it. And see, we tell people, you know, when we get angry at people, you messed up my life. You didn't do this. You didn't. If God, not saying that this was us, I'm using this example now. Y'all got to follow me because I'm trying to keep it condensed. So if God told you don't marry me until we had counseling, what you went through is because of you. What some of y'all going through is because you didn't listen to the warning. But what do? You fought the other people for everything that happened because you didn't follow that one. I had somebody else. Well, the prophet told me don't marry him. You went through what you went through because you didn't follow instructions. But now we fought in everybody for what we ain't got in a relationship, but you fail to see you the one disobeyed God. So now it was a famine, and because most of you didn't obey God, guess what? You in famine. Some got no money, you ain't got no place, you ain't got no friends, you ain't got no family, ain't nothing going for you. It's because you made the mistake. So now, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died. When you're a man and you got a family, and you don't lead your family in the promises or the way of God, when you leave here, you kill your family because you gave them no structure. You gave them no, you watch this. Notice that they was in the land of God, but watch this. They never followed the voice of God. Boy, that's something, man. So watch this. Amalek went to Moab to sojourn, which means we're going to go over here and get us something to eat and this and that. So when God began to bless the land again, we're going to go back. What happens? You make a choice and you can't come back from that choice. That's what happened to Amalek. So you left your family in a strange place. No money, nothing to eat, and you got 2 sons. That reminds me of my mama. It was 3 of us. All Carrie was a cook. Can you understand the strain of being in a position that you're a single parent and ain't no man around and you got to do what it takes? A little argument every now and then look good because at least you know I got a bed to lie in. I can turn on the air. I got something to eat. So you don't went away from the place of God. You over there in Moab. See, Moab is that place of struggle. You get what I'm saying? Moab is that place, okay, I got to rob Peter to pay Paul because I got to watch out for Stephanie because I owe Stephanie from the last time I robbed Andrew to pay Andy. But now I need to go over here and get something from Susie. I'm just out of it. You stretched in. Watch this. Now, what happened was because they wasn't supposed to be in Moab, their 2 sons took wives of Moab. What do you do when you hook up? God don't want you hooked to. Got to be more careful. And in verse 5 it said, and Mahlon and Chilion died, both of them, and the woman was left of her 2 sons and a husband. So they in a place where they don't supposed to be, serving in an unknown God land, but left their place of promise to find something else because I guess they thought the grass was greener on the other side. Only to find out. Watch this. Be careful as a man marrying a woman that's killing you spiritually before you die naturally. You know why her sons had to die? You can never prosper in a foreign land. That's why when a lot of you in your situation now, you can admit, watch this, you ain't got nothing. But you want to walk around here like you got it all together. You doing this, you doing that. Some of y'all turning tricks for a pork chop. Give me what you, that's that DJ Jim. Y'all remember that? Give me what you got for a pork chop. What you doing while you working for something that was already given to you? It's because you don't know God for yourself. Verse 6. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how the Lord has visited his people and given them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she were, and her two daughters-in-law with her went on their way to return unto the land of Judah. Ain't that just like y'all church folks? See, you run away when the blessing's gone, and you think you got what you want. But the minute you see the blessings back, you want to run back to the blessing. Look at him. Brother Hubbard, life about to change. And y'all told me it should tell. You told me I offended you. So you messed up my life. You did this. You manipulated me. I ain't done you. Watch this. When my time comes, I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing now. Sipping on little Merlot. Simply fruit punch Merlot. Because see, a lot of times, see, thank you, Holder. Let me cut it back. We in a time that God had to separate from some of us from our friends, from the mates we thought was for, because he wanted you to see them for who they really were. That's what he wanted to do. Because he knew that if he was to bless you with the person that you with, he understood something. It would cancel out your blessing from not being actually fulfilled to the extent that God wanted it to be. See, watch this. Old Job was over there. He had glass scratching his soul. That's painful, ain't it? See, the pain you went through, because when you didn't give up on God because you knew what God was telling you, he said, I guess God said, I can't wait to bless Job because he just scratching with glass. I know it's painful, Job. I know your wife ain't on Job. I know she told you to curse me and die, but you keep on scraping. Don't listen to them friends, Job. He said, when it's all over, I'm gonna give you better than what you had. Consolation prize me, please. Ain't that what y'all say? Consolation. And see, that was wrong with us. We want to run to something that's not of God because it's giving out something, but it's not giving it out according to God's. Let me see, can I find what I need for y'all? I got to school you. What did that say? Job 31:8. And now, finally, God answered Job from the eye of a violent storm. He said, why do you confuse the issue? This from the Message Bible. He said, why do you talk without knowing what you're talking about? Pull yourself together, Job. Up on your feet. Stand tall. I have some questions for you. I want some straight answers. Where were you when I created the earth? Tell me, since you know so much. Who decided on this side? Certainly you know that. Who came up with the blueprints and measurement? How was its foundation poured? And who set the cornerstone? While the morning stars sang chorus and all the angels shouted praise. And who took charge of the ocean when it gushed forth like a baby from the womb? That was me. I wrapped it in the soft clouds and tucked it in safely at night. Then I made a playpen for it, a playpen, so it couldn't run loose. I said, your wild tantrums are confined to this place. See, God answered Job from a violent storm, which means more than often you get your answer from God in what you're going through. But for most of y'all don't want to go through, so you ask God, watch this. I'm tired, God. God, when am I knowing gonna work? When am I gonna do that? He said, hey, Job, why you confuse the issue? Why you talk without knowing? Y'all sitting around here asking God to get out the storm instead of asking God what I do in the storm. You asking God for divorce, but then you didn't ask God, well, why is the divorce? You asking God to send you a man or a woman, but still, you don't even know why God will send you a man or a woman. God said, I want some answers today. And a lot of y'all sitting around mad because God, you trying to put God on a time limit when to use you, when to bless you, when you gonna get married, why I got to give this, why I can't give that. But watch this. See, God been watching a lot of you for the past 2 weeks. Do y'all notice, especially with money, do y'all know y'all get money, y'all go buy whatever you want and don't even complain. But let God put something in your spirit. I don't know. I got to pray about it. Dog, God, I just gave this. God, what I got left. But when it's for you, you go get what you want, when you want, how you want, and you don't even sit down and say, God, can I do this? If God controls money, He can control you. As much as I know about God, I don't spend a dime unless God tell me. I can be a millionaire. You get what I'm saying? So now, watch this. Now, when you see a blessing coming Brother Hubbard way, now you want to run to Brother Hubbard. Now you want to talk to Brother. Where were you when times were bad? Man, no, I ain't going to read that one. So now, Naomi goes back to Judah because now it's blessed again. See, watch this. That's why I tell y'all what I tell you. If you don't want to fool with me, don't fool with me no kind of way. Because when my blessings come, I don't want you to come with me. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. God told me this. God told Brother Hubbard don't want to hear it. See, God gave, sometimes I have trouble saying no, but God made sure I got an advocate that'll speak for me. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to be sipping my Merlot. You did good, thank you. Because I ain't got time to worry about no false flag relationship. See, some of y'all only want people for what you can get out of them. I meant what I said. All that stuff, 8 years of stuff that was accumulated. Brother Hubbard didn't even get a pot or a pan. You could have gave me my sheets and the towel that you threw away. She could have gave me that. Did he? What? Man, I'm pissed off about something. That what pisses me off is that you can take everything that was got together and then gonna tell me what I can get, and hell, I'm the one bought it. What he's or something else. That pisses me off. You can't even pick up the phone and say, Miss Harding, I appreciate you for still calling and checking on your side. I appreciate you for still being a grandmama that he never had. You can't do that. Man, screw people like that. I don't fool with people. I wish my mama had my heart. I tell her, y'all got to watch out for stuff. Not saying nothing bad, but I'm just saying the facts. I told y'all, Paul says, the things I go through for the furtherance of the gospel. When you got to break up and you got and it's children involved, and you know for a fact that what that is to that child is something that they never had or never can get, swallow your pride and say, at least thank you for talking to my son. Don't even care. Now I can't say that because the Holy Spirit told me, because I'm finna get in there now. So she went back with her daughters-in-law. Ain't it something to be in a place where you don't supposed to go? Watch this. Your sons marry in a place you don't supposed to go. Your sons die. Now you got to take care of people from a place that you don't supposed to go. And now they're a burden. See, for some of y'all, living the way you living is a burden. You didn't follow God. Ain't no burden over here. Burdens down, Lord. Burdens down, Lord. Since I laid my burdens down. Where am I sleep? What am I eat? They don't like me. And Naomi said unto her daughters-in-law, go return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you as you have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that you may find rest in each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, surely we will return unto thee, unto thy people. See, what's wrong with a lot of y'all? You gave up too soon. See, a lot of people laughed at me when I was called to ministry because they didn't believe in me. A lot of women I wanted didn't want me because I had nothing to offer. See, you got to watch out for getting rid of people that you think you don't need. Watch this. How many of you have left people and then turn around, you needed them again? God's showing you something right there, but y'all don't want to hear because you don't need them in your mind. I have never left a person, place, or thing that I had to go back to because I didn't need them. Because when I look at it, when I look at the ticket, you know, the old folks said, if they make more withdrawals than they do deposit, you don't need them. They leeches. So when y'all hear me say I don't fool with me, how much I was there, they didn't do nothing for me anyway. I used to ride to Birmingham for free, preach for free. She wouldn't even offer with Brother Hubbard, I wish I had some gas, man. You could say that. But y'all know, I got to put it back up there. That's why God called me the fee-free preacher, because I'm blessed for people to help me. I'm blessed for people to give my men. But watch this. Watch this. Paul said it best. I rob from others to do service to you. So what Paul was talking about, you got people that's sowing into me, and I'm running to help other people that ain't giving me nothing. I'm robbing them. So guess what I started doing? I go to the people who give it. Because there's only so much you can give out and can't get in the end. And then you can't even buy me a $2 or $3 thank you card. You're gonna send me something that's so tacky and distasteful to ask me to come do something for you. I would have take a verbal thank you than you send me some kind of crap on on a darn phone like I ain't nothing. Ain't did nothing for me. Nigga something else. But then you can sit up there with new clothes on, new this, new that, but then the people that come to help you and bring you closer to God, you ain't got nothing for them. Watch people who want to go with you, but never have anything to offer you. But see, Naomi was in that selfish mood. Hey, whatever over there is all about me. You know what I'm saying? You don't supposed to be here anyway. I'm going in. See, a lot of y'all go to a place and find out you ain't supposed to be there, huh? But then you go to the place that you're supposed to be, and that's the place that you won't help. Oh, we be looking at y'all. God be saying, he said, look at them. He said, ain't they slick? And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have a husband, also tonight and should also bear a son, would you tarry for them till they grown? Would you stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughter, for it grieves me much for your sake that the hand of the Lord is going out against me. See, Naomi knew something. Naomi knew she was cursed. She ain't got nothing to give. It wasn't in her womb with me. She wasn't producing something. Now, watch this. Ask yourself, how long, this for the new folks that may turn it on, how long have you been a part of your ministry? How many times has your leader sat down and evaluated your growth in God? Have they identified your gift? Have they identified your calling? Have they identified your anointing? Do they tell you your strength? Do they tell you their weakness? Can you pick up the phone and call them anytime and think about anything? Ain't nothing in their womb. That's why you ain't being birthed out. So now you're a pew member, but because they your friends, because you can come over there and get dinner, huh? You think they care for you. A leader that cares for you want the most out of you. And the only way they can get something out of you, they got to see something in you. See, I come from a church that the leader used to say, oh, it's something in you. It's something in you. Okay, what's in me? It's something in you, bro. What's in me? See, I had to come to a place. I had to go where a person can tell me what's in me because you keeping me in suspense when doing it for me because I was growing. And see, a lot of y'all sitting in an empty womb. But because that's all you know, because y'all friends, because they call, because watch this. Some of you they don't want to lose because that's how they paying their rent. That's how they going out to eat. That's how they getting gas in their car. You know, like they do down there in Birmingham. That's what they doing. Huh? What kind of leader sits up and demand the people tithe and they don't tithe? Don't y'all play with me today. I know everything going on. Don't think I don't know. This is a season of judgment. That's why I try to teach y'all tithes was never money. Oh, y'all hard headed. Let me go find it. Let me go find the scripture because you know it's gonna be some new ones come over here and they like to challenge the truth. They like to challenge the truth, so sometimes you got to let them know where it's at. Let me go pull it up. And one thing about the word, I don't care how you make it mean what you want it to mean. It mean what it said. Let me find it. Let me find it. Y'all know I like it. I ought to keep it on a cheat sheet because I say it all the time. What is that? Deuteronomy. Where it at? Woo, boy. But I'm finna free somebody. Y'all want to get free? Let me go find this whole thing. Let me go find this thing. Let me go find this thing. Because you know, I like when new people come pull up the video and they hear me say, I didn't know that. Because how can a leader teach you tithing and say it's from God and they don't teach this verse? Deuteronomy 14:22. But if the place is too distant and you have been blessed by the Lord your God and cannot carry your tithe, notice the word carry, that means it's heavy. You know, because the place where the Lord would choose to put his name is so far away, then exchange your tithe for money. What did he say? This the word now. So how can tithe be money? See, one thing about God original intents, it never fades because the Bible teaches us his words will never change. So here we see he said carry the tithe. But now we see he said if it's too far, exchange your tithe for money. So what they doing, they taking their oxen, they taking their corn, they taking their crops, and they exchanging it for money. But this is what people don't teach y'all. And take the money with you and go to the place the Lord your God will choose. See, God got to choose what you do with your money. See, that's why I get on y'all. That y'all get y'all money and y'all do everything you want. But when God try to put his hand in, God. Well, let me pray about it, God. Well, God, what I'm going to have left? God, I ain't got no food. God, I ain't got no gas. God, He said, use the money to buy whatever you like. Watch this. Cattle, sheep, wine, or other fermented. Did you hear this? This the word. God done told these people, change your tithe into money and go take you a sip of that Cavassier. You know, that old, you get your old Tito's, huh? Some of that Apple Crown Royal, you know. No diddy. Or anything you wish, then you and your household shall eat there in the presence of the Lord. Now, this is what I say to that. If you're a part of a ministry, you know the lights got to be paid. You know they travel here or there. You know, ain't nothing wrong with giving. But don't give 10%. Because to tithe money, and the scripture surely states that tithe wasn't money. So watch this. A lot of y'all ain't getting blessed because you don't understand the nature of God's intent. So you tithing for a blessing to rebuke the devourer. The devourer was not the devil. The devourer was rain. But see, you got to go over in the mid-risham to understand that, because that's what they call the sun. When God didn't allow it to rain, it devoured the crops. Now, what's this? When we go on in the New Testament, Paul teaches you don't supposed to be giving anyway unless you hear the voice of God. But that's a whole nother teaching. Let's get over back here in the roof. Now, because Ruth was stingy, in other words. Y'all better see, y'all around here paying people mortgages, and you can have that money in your pocket. Like watch me when I went down to Atlanta a couple of days ago. I was going, he said, pay for that. Boom. Pay for that. Boom. It ain't my money, it's God's money. Old homeless man came, pay for that. Boom. I said, man, don't even tell me your story. Here you go. I said, because before you even walked up him, God said, get him $20 for me. I know what I'm saying. And then he tried to tell me, I said, go get you some meat. Because the Waffle House was across the street. Well, now I'm going to the store. I said, man, don't tell me what you're going to do with it. But he was still talking, I can get a whole lot for this 20. I'm going to get something that's going to last. Man, don't tell me that, because God told me to give it to you. God knew what you're going to do with it. If you went and got your crack rock, God knew it. It ain't my fault once the money leave my hand. Here we get 15. Whoa. So verse 13. So watch this. Y'all around here, you done already move against God's will. Now you trying to force somebody to get right for you when you in the wrong too. God, be more careful. My man don't hear God. My man don't hear God. But yet claim to hear God, but you moved outside the will of God. But now you saying, God, listen here. I haven't had so many reference to religious things since I've been getting this divorce more than I will have when I was in the done marriage. I'm just gonna tell the truth. I said, dog. So she only hear God when it's time to go. Shit. Oh, excuse me, y'all. See, it's something to point out everybody's faults in them, and you moving wrong too. But you didn't move wrong because the God you listening to, your flesh, you think you to move right. Huh? Ooh, boy, that sounds like that old brother Hubbard coming back. Let's get on this thing. Verse 14, and they lifted up their voices and went again, and Oprah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto thy people and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to turn from following after thee. For where thou go, I will go. And where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Whereas thou die, would I die, and there would I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. See, church like to say that verse 16, they talking about how faithful Ruth is. They talking about that's her day one. They talking about that's commitment. You know what that was? A cry of desperation. A cry of desperation. See, watch this. Ruth knew if she go back, it wouldn't end there anyway. But Ruth probably heard something about God. So watch this. So you telling me I don't want to leave you. I'm just going to go wherever you go. Never follow anybody blindly. That's why if you go marry one of these jokers, you single women, you got to know he following God, not after things. If you men gonna marry one of these women, you got to know they following not the latest stomach staple, not the latest BBL, huh? Not the latest 50 inches. Because see, it got to be a plan. See, God's plan for Adam and Eve was for them to rule and reign together. You done got married because he know how to lay the wood good. And you done marry her because she let you hit it any way you want it, any time of night. But what's the plan? Because see, what's going to happen when it don't get hard no more? What's going to happen when it dry up and you can't get it in there no more? What's the plan? See, that's desperation to follow anybody blindly. You don't know nothing about this God. How can you watch this, women and men? How you want to be a part of a person's life and you don't even know what their life consists of? Because we can talk a good God talk, but anybody know me, I want to see if you got any power. I want to see if you got any power. Because see, you can know the scriptures back and forth. You can know every version there is. But without power, you worthless around me. Then she go as far, I die where you die. That's like the old saying, if I jump off a cliff, will you follow me? That's not a person that I would want to be connected to. You don't know nothing about me. Where you going? I could be going to the trap house. I can be going on a stroll and I'm pimping you out. But see, a lot of us do stuff for the sake of being alone. That's what it came down to. I don't want to be alone. Now, what you got to understand, even though Ruth followed her blindly, now, oftentimes that can be done. But if you're going to follow a person blindly, make sure that you see them brightly walking toward God. You see God moving in their life. You see God using them. You see God growing them. You see God, okay, that's the light. I'm going with the light. Because I know if I stay in Moab, I know that's darkness. Y'all follow people because of the way they dress, what they say, and sometimes out of blind obligations. But what you fail to see, that's a God up there watching. Huh? He watching. And a lot of y'all that made God said decision in a fleshly standing, it was the God of your belly. Y'all finna be messed up this year. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. God ain't playing, he ain't playing dice this year. Ain't no hot not seven. Either you on his side or you not. We got separation going on. That's why I've been telling y'all. When God said cut them loose, I cut you loose. Because God know more about you than I do, because I only know what he's telling me. What God you listening to? What God done told you to do and you ain't done? See, God had told a lot of y'all to do something, but guess what you doing? You got God waiting when you know within yourself you got the ability to do whatever he told you right now. Wait, God, I'm going to do it this time. Y'all didn't think God won't say? See, I know what be going on now. Power. He said, Dietrich, they got the ability to do what I ask them now, but they want me to wait. Because God ain't first yet. See, it's a bunch of days God got to become first in your life. Why y'all think I gave the excuse, not the excuse, the examples of I would go hook my trailer up and God will say, go home. Or I go to a job, he'll say, go home. I go halfway to a job, he said, turn around and quit. Because God's voice is more important to me than anything on this earth. That's why Brother Hubbard like he is. I ain't got the best, but I got the best. Which means I'm not looking for what you consider high quality or name brand. I'm looking at what God gives me because it's the best for me. And God gave y'all, a lot of y'all, what's best for you, but because it wasn't according to the 5 languages of love, you got rid of it. You got rid of it. And why did you get rid of it? You got rid of it because you trying to get some man to love you according to a book. Because watch this, I'm gonna help a lot of you men out. The only reason a lot of women go with that because they can what's the word I'm looking for? They can well, the reason women go for that book is because that's the only book that they can mimic. See, when you send them to the Bible, they can't mimic what love is in the Bible. You get what I'm saying? Watch this. First Corinthians 13:4. Watch this. It said love suffers long. Why you got a divorce? If love suffers long, why there ain't a language in y'all book? Why don't say my love language is longevity according to 1 Corinthians 13:4? See, if it put some scripture behind it, I might subscribe to it. But because I know the philosophy of men, I don't describe to. Let's run through it. Love is kind. Oh, you done got on Facebook and y'all done cussed each other out. Why you ain't got that in the 5 languages of love? Well, my love language is kindness. Okay, that's already 2 love languages according to the book. So what I'm trying to tell you, it's more about love in the Bible than them little 5 languages, because those are not the languages of God. Love, what say love envy is not. Huh? Can we make that plain? Oh, you went and bought you a new pair of shoes, but when I wanted to go out to eat, when I wanted something, you told me I can't do it. Why you envy what your husband do? Let's make it plain again. Girl, do you see what Dietrich bought his wife? Why my man can't do that? Why your love language ain't envy? I don't care what nobody got. Long my man love. Y'all missing a lot of language, you fools. Love bought it not itself. I love you more than you because I bought this and it cost $4,000 and all you gave me is this little cheap wallet that you probably got on sale. Why that ain't a love language? See, as believers, we supposed to go by the book, the Bible book, not the world book. It says the friendship of the world is the enemy in God. Boy, I'm trying to tell y'all, if I was out in the world and I knew that's the blueprint of what women go through, man, I have a revolving door. I'd be knocking them back. Get on out of here. Get on out of here. I'm gonna give you 4-5 gifts, unless I really want you, then I gon' spend a big dollar. Ooh, you be listen here. Stop getting tricked at panties. Where it is. Love is not puffed up. Huh? That means love ain't prideful. What does that mean? If you don't love me according to the 5 love language, you don't love me. That's what that means. That's why it ain't in there. Love ain't puffed up. See, love ain't gonna tell you if you don't love me according to a book, you don't love me. Love does not behave itself unseemly. Y'all ever be out in public and you see a man and a woman husband and wife, she just cussing them out. She busting out windows. You around here, you wanna expose them. You want to tell all that dirty secrets. Guess what? That ain't love. The reason women don't want to go by this Bible is because they can't hold the standards of the Bible, but they can hold the standards of the book, because all that book is showing you how to receive love. It's not showing you how to give. Here it comes. Love seeketh not her own. You can't tell nobody how to love you, you fools. Well, if you don't give me word of action, you don't love me. That's not the Bible, y'all. Because love don't seek it its own, which means if you really understand love, you don't tell a person they not loving you. Love is not easy to provoke. You know that pissed me off. Why you do that? Huh? Well, I remember when I was married, I used to get on her nerves, some habits I did, she get on mine. But watch love. Okay, she hung the dumb bras on the thing like that or something, and I go in and use the bathroom. I don't want to look at no dumb. That's just me. Or then you got the his and hers bathroom. You already get them most of the side of the top, but then they're gonna take all your other side. So now you all over here. But what I do? Didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing because it didn't provoke me. Why you keep throwing your clothes on the ground? Pick this up, pick this up. See, love says, my husband, my wife got a problem with that. Let me do this. Oh, that ain't it by love. How many languages that is God got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! God dang! Ding, 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 ding. Bible wins. It said love thinking no evil. Oh, he hurt me, so I'm gonna do this. He hurt me, I'm gonna do that. You didn't know if you want to do him evil. That's what love is, y'all. Love, watch this. That's 8 now. We go on to 9, 10, 11. Love rejoices not in iniquity. You don't get happy just because somebody you used to love and something happened to them. Oh, such and such had a break. Good for them because they treated me like a dog. Dietrich and the person in question got divorced. Good for them because I ain't like that nigga anyway. I ain't like you either, punk. That's why I ain't around you. If the truth be told. But watch this. These be Christians. Because love rejoices in the truth. What's the truth? No matter what this person do or have done to me, I still love them. Man, y'all don't want this work. We're gonna have to finish this one. But this some good stuff. What God you listening to?